Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Frantz here. Welcome back to the Ambassador. I hope everybody out there is doing well. I know times can be crazy right now, and different circumstances can pop up in your life, but keep the holy faith, okay? I know it's hard, but keep the holy faith. Trust the kingdom of heaven. Trust God. Trust Yeshua. Trust the Holy Spirit. And when those days get to the point where it's like, it's really, really drawn out and you're tired and you just want to break down, stay strong and stay wholly faithful. And it's going to work out. You keep pushing that faith through and you'll be delivered and everything will be just fine. You just got to, endure to the end of that situation. Endure to the end of these situations, y'all, one by one. Don't try to take on all this stuff, multitasking your problems. Hand them over to the kingdom and walk each one out faith by faith until you endure through it. Okay? Welcome to the show. I'm Frantz. Did I say that? This is the Ambassador. Okay? Now, I'm going to jump off into this subject real quick and I'm going to be very careful about what I say. Now, Kevin Samuels. The brother had a lot of good things to say, had a lot of good advice, and some of it was woof, but it was real. And and he would go off sometimes and say certain things, okay? Now, I'm not concerned about none of that because that's all part of the world, and he was trying to get something going. Two things he didn't know, or maybe he didn't think of. First of all, when he was trying to fix the problem between black men and black women, he didn't know he was going against an industry that is making billions of dollars to keep black men and black women apart. You'll notice that it seems like there's an attack on black love. Like they don't want black men and black women together, so you don't see that on TV a lot no more. And if you do, it's not healthy. And But what you do see is a whole bunch of interracial stuff going on. Now, just to let y'all know, I ain't got no beef or nothing with interracial stuff. It's just that Hollywood is pushing it very, very hard. Very, very hard. So, um, Kevin Samuels was kind of going against that, along with other norms and abnormal behaviors of the black community, the black male and the black female.
The painting by Per Krog signifies a new beginning. It's about the phoenix rising out of the ashes.
Notice the giant mural that towers over the Security Council room. The central focus of the UN mural is the phoenix bird that has risen. The phoenix bird is a symbol of Lucifer. Egyptians believed that the phoenix symbolized a god who rose to heaven in the form of a morning star like Lucifer after his fire immolation of death and rebirth. Notice that the phoenix bird is not standing above his own ashes. He is standing above his old skin. Like a snake, he has shed his old skin and is revealing himself as God at the center of the mural. At the top left, there is a church steeple without a cross. The missing cross symbolizes the death of Christianity. Below, a woman receives the rays of the sun god, while the man in front of her plays Pan's flute. To their right are two pyramid symbols and people joined together by a long blue serpent-like cloth. Below the risen phoenix, a sword is driven through a dragon beast. This represents the killing of old beliefs and religions that depicted Lucifer as a beast. The New World religion worships him as beautiful. In this post-apocalyptic mural, the military man standing on the tail of the beast represents worldwide military power. He tips his helmet to the elite, who are climbing out from underground cities where they safely hid from the apocalypse. In the main oval panel above the phoenix bird, a woman is holding flowers. She is the bride in a wedding ceremony. Who are these newlyweds that are kneeling submissively beneath the serpent in the overhead tree? The serpent in human form is tempting the little girl Eve, who accepts the apple. On the right side of the top panel, a reptilian green creature with scaly skin is dancing with a naked woman while musicians entertain him. The general message of the UN's Phoenix Rising mural is that humanity is stepping into a new Luciferic reality. Beneath this disturbingly prophetic mural, world leaders make global decisions that affect the lives of nearly 7 billion people.
He didn't know he was going against something that is making billions of dollars to keep us apart, along with the makeup industry, right? Billions of dollars to keep women from looking at at their real selves and accepting their real selves and improving their real selves, rather than putting a whole makeup mask on to hide themselves. So he was really just trying to, revive the black family and black self-esteem. Self-esteem, okay? But it didn't really help him telling these women who many times with the men committed fornication to have these children and not be married, okay? But now he's telling them, why are you waiting? How come you're not having sex with them? How come these men gotta wait for your sex box when you gave it to somebody else and gave them a child? That's where we disagree, because he used to be a youth pastor. He should have never, you don't encourage people to commit fornication, and then you never tell them that God or Jesus, the Son of God, has nothing to do with a mate. I think that's where Kevin Samuel went wrong. He was a youth pastor, but he's telling people to go commit fornication. That wasn't a good thing. And I wish I could have got to know the brother and at least made him, to tell him, like, listen, you're doing a good thing trying to connect black love again, because there is an attack on black love. They want everybody else to have some type of love except blacks in America. And black in America have not really appreciated black love because they destroy each other along with black love. So that's all Kevin was trying to do. But when he got in there and said, you don't need God, Jesus, them, the Son of God is not involved in this process, when he started saying stuff like that, and then he was, I don't care about the rating thing that he did. Some of these women asked him to rate them and all kind of stuff like that. I don't care about all that superficial stuff. He was trying to do something good in the long run, even if it hurt people's feelings. But the part I really feel he failed at was when he was telling them to commit fornication. When he was telling them, that the Lord don't have nothing to do with this. They got to do this, 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 and this. But the Lord has everything to do with everything. Especially if you call yourself a child of God, or a daughter of God, or a son of God. If you do, the Lord is involved in every aspect of it. Because you cannot just go get any man for a husband. You just can't go get any woman for a wife. There's a process for us, because we got to weed people out. We're on a separate road. We're in the world, but we're not of it. So that's where Mr. Kevin Samuels messed up when he was doing all that stuff. And Lucifer was just right there, just, feeding the fuel, because as I believe, as he got more successful, he got more arrogant. It's not just him. That's all that Lucifer tries to use. And he will bless you with finance. He will bless you with all these things, but he will increase your immorality. He will increase your vanity and pride, because that's where the destruction starts, If he can get you to get prideful, Lucifer, if he can get you to get prideful, then he got you. And I think that's what happened with Mr. Samuels, like it happens with so many other people, And I honestly believe that they killed Mr. Samuels. Of course, nobody can prove that, but I'm sorry. You can call me conspiracy theorist if you want, but I know about a lot of CIA technology and military technology and weapons that you could that there's a lot of things that can make it look like a heart attack or cardiac arrest or something that looks medical, but somebody murdered you.
And the various devices for administering the toxin that were found in the laboratory certainly make it clear that purely defensive uses were not what the agency was limited to in any way. There were definite offensive uses. In fact, there were dart guns. You mentioned suicides. Well, I don't think a suicide is usually accomplished with a dart, particularly a gun that can place the dart in a human target in such a way that he doesn't even know that he's been hit.
There's no question about it. It was also for offensive reasons. No question.
Have you brought with you some of those devices which would have enabled the CIA to use this poison for?
We have indeed.
For killing people? Don't point it at me. I wonder if
Can you roll that over?
roll it over. Now, does this pistol fire the dart?
Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman. The round thing at the top is obviously the sight. The rest of it is what is practically a normal 45, although it's special. However, it works by electricity. There's a battery in the handle, and it fires a small dart.
So that when it fires silently?
Almost silently, yes. Very little.
What range does it have?
100 meters. 100 meters, I believe, about 100 yards, 100 meters.
About 100 meters range.
Right.
And the dart itself, when it strikes the target, does the target know that he's been hit and about to die?
That depends, Mr. Chairman, on the particular dart used. There are different kinds of these flechettes that were used in various weapon systems, and a special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception.
Without perception?
Right.
And did you find such darts in the library?
We did.
In the laboratory?
We did.
Yes. Isn't it true too that the effort not only involved designing a gun that could strike a human target without knowledge of the person who'd been struck, but also the toxin itself would not appear in the autopsy?
Well, there was an attempt.
Or the dart?
Yes, so that there was no way of perceiving that the target was hit.
As a murder instrument, that's about as efficient as you can get, isn't it?
It is a weapon, a very serious weapon.
Did something to them because they got poisons that can make it look like cardiac arrest or a heart attack. And nobody investigated. Basically, they just said that's what it was, and then we don't know who the lady is. We don't know any circumstances. He's just dead. Very fishy, but hey, some men in this country can disappear and it don't matter. Some women in this country can disappear and it don't matter. I mean, when I say disappear, die, suspicious circumstances, they won't investigate it. It just is what it is. Okay?
Message.
We're dealing with principalities and evil spirits from above, second heaven. So that's what I believe. Mr. Kevin Samuels messed up right there. Being a youth pastor, he should have known better to tell these women that they should just be out there having sex because they had sex before. You know? I believe that there is a way for you ladies to get a husband. And I'm not talking about the world, because the world is in a horrible condition. But those who call themselves daughters of God, daughters of holiness. Check out my book, How to Get a Husband. Check out my book. And it's only for Christian women, or not even really Christian women, because I don't really believe in the whole naming theology thing, the denominations. But any woman who wants to be married to a godly man, this book is for you. But it requires discipline of you, like marriage requires discipline of the man. Because when you're a child of God, marriage for us is duty. The things we do for the kingdom on the earth is duty to the kingdom of heaven. You feel me? So, anyway, I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. I just want to let y'all know that I did like Mr. Samuels, Kevin Samuels. I liked a lot of the content and stuff that he was doing and creating. And I'm going to tell you, I just didn't like that one part. And I was really sad about his death, because he was promoting fornication before he died. I really feel really bad about that part, and sick inside for him on that part, because his message could have included God, could have included Yeshua, and included don't go out there and further devalue yourself by having all these men run through you simply because you want to have sex and you're looking for a guy, and this guy don't want to wait for sex. Well, if he doesn't want to wait for the sex because you already had a child, then maybe he's not for you. And I'm only talking to children or daughters of God, of Yahweh. Why? Because the worldly women do what they want to do. They're not trying to please God. Neither is the worldly man. So, if you are a child of God, there is a route you have to go. And just because you had a child before, ladies, just because you had children before, and now you gave your heart to the kingdom of heaven, and you're looking for a husband to help you with those children, we don't do what the world do. So you don't go out and give your goods away just because you gave your goods away before. Okay? Go get my book. And it will instruct you. It will instruct you on how to get a husband. And when the Lord, the kingdom of heaven, third heaven, sends you a husband, you got a good one. And not only is he going to plan for your life now and set y'all straight, he's going to make sure y'all are ready for prophecy. Because a lot of y'all really are just building treasures on the earth like the world, but y'all ain't preparing to be kicked out of the system of the world. Because remember, you're not going to be able to buy and sell without the mark. So, Mr. Samuels, you're gone already. I pray for your family and your children, and I'm sorry. And I just pray for your family that's still here. And I just tell y'all out there who was happy when he passed away, when he died, y'all are gonna reap that. That's a spiritual thing that you put against yourself when you was happy when that man died, just because he gave y'all some truth in sometimes a harsh way, but most times in a very logical, understanding, let me say it again, and calm, patient way. Because he had a lot of patience for a lot of you ladies. You know what I mean? So, anyway, That's the thing. We hope that somebody continues his work so that we can heal the black condition and get black love back up to where it should be, along with the other loves that people are pushing. Black love should be a love that should be pushed also. Hopefully there's somebody else out there doing it the proper way and without offending God. Because the Lord will bless our marriages if we just stop committing these sins and these things, these immoral acts to even get in them. You know what I'm saying? He'll bless our lives. So y'all just gotta stop with the cap. Y'all gotta stop with the purpose sinning and just focus on holiness and righteousness. But as far as Mr. Kevin Samuels is concerned, I think that's where he went wrong. That's where he went wrong, y'all. Keep the kingdom of heaven involved in everything in your life. This means your job and your decisions and how you talk to your children and all that stuff. I mean, every aspect. Make sure holiness and righteousness is involved. All right? I love y'all. I'm out.